watching special VADA 25 convention coverage. I'm Dan Carrigan with VADA Live, and I'm joined here by Tim Pohanka, who's the legislative chair of VADA. Tim, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
As far as the convention this year, what stands out to you? How have things been so far?
Every year Don puts on a great show, and then the entire team there. I think what's great is just when you look at all of the dynamic speakers that are here and the energy. I mean, obviously Kevin is an amazing speaker, and he really gets things kicked off. I think that's kind of the really most important thing is just how well you follow the lessons that he just gave us.
As far as your role, VADA, the legislative chair, talk to me a little bit about that and almost the year that was from the legislative perspective.
You know, one of the greatest things that we have in this state is our presence down at the State House. And the active dealer body that we have and the great team we have at VAD to make sure that our industry is well represented down there. That's the part that's the most important. There's so many laws and so many things that change. It's very fluid in this industry. And the fact that we've got a great team down there makes our lives so much easier. I can't think of a day that goes by that there hasn't been something that VADA has been involved with that hasn't made my relationship with my manufacturer or whether it's with the community or anything else better. And I think that's what being part of the legislative chair is just understanding what's going on and how we can make those impacts down in Richmond for ourselves and for our customers.
What do you think that real difference maker is? Is it that concerted effort? Is it that really being able to help process and make lawmakers understand the industry? Is it the relationship side? What do you think is the real difference maker with the ADA's team?
I think in our industry, we know that the difference maker is how well we communicate. And when you are engaged, when you are transparent, I think that's probably another big key is the transparency. When you're willing to talk about the good in our industry and the things that do need help in our industry, when you're willing to take that look in the mirror of your own self, I think that helps because when you're down there talking, and I've watched Don and his team do it, it's not a conversation about give me. It's a conversation about, this is why. And it's that building block that you need. It's very easy to ask for a give. Lots of people do that. Our kids do it very well. The best salespeople in the world are 3-year-olds because they'll give you every opportunity to correct the mistake you made when you told them no. But what Don and his team have brought and what we're able to do as dealers when he asks us for our input, is we're able to bring the why, the real input as to what's going on. And I think that in itself is what the big difference maker is.
As far as June for you, what does that represent? What does this convention mean to you time-wise in your calendar year? What does this mean? How's everything fit in?
Well, June is probably one of my busiest travel months because I've got a lot of other commitments that we make from the industry. But what June is to me is June is my education month. I've got a few of them where I spend a lot of time with my dealer brethren and we're out and we're learning from each other. And I think that's kind of what I take from this opportunity is I take every opportunity to learn something I haven't learned or to delve into something I should learn or to take that look in the mirror about something that I haven't been looking at, but it's still there. It's like, that's still on your face. You got to do something. That to me is what this does.
So there's one thing I do know about auto dealers, fixed ops, the whole world is that everybody is busy. It is constant. You make time, you mentioned from the education side of things to read up, and you've essentially made a lot of time as far as the legislative efforts side of things. Really long way of asking, why is it so important for dealers and staff to get involved with their association, with the legislative side? Why is that so important to invest that time and all the above?
I don't know the right adage, and it's long, so I won't go into it. But I will say that the important thing about it is this is your industry. You have invested a lot of your time, your energy, your money, whether you're a GM, a GSM, a salesperson, a technician, a dealer, you've got time, energy, and your money invested in this. This is what you use to take care of your family and leave your legacy of whatever it's going to be. And my dad had told me a story long ago that the most important thing in this industry is to put more into it than you take out, to put more into your community than you take out. And when you live by those words and that thought process and you're engaging in this industry, and you're passing your education on, you're passing your knowledge on, you're passing on the concerns that your team has, I think that's the secret sauce.
Talking business for a second, what is top of mind for you right now? There's a lot of dynamic time in the industry, I've heard very often. Going into this convention and being here, what's that number one thing from the business side that's on your mind?
A little bit different than I think a lot of people may be thinking. I like to think that I'm still young enough in this industry. I'm not anymore. And times have changed, and every time we think what could be different, it's something else. But I think going forward, I think AI, how well we bring AI tools into the dealership, how well we are able to bring that to our consumers, I think that's going to be my big learning curve over the next couple, probably the rest of my life, is how well we can engage AI.
Is there any way from the business side the team's either looking into it or leveraging it at this point?
Well, there's so many different ways, and that's the part that to me is exciting, whether it is in customer relations, whether it is in training, whether it is in how you interact with the technician when they're repairing a vehicle. When you look at the augmented reality glasses as well that are available now, I think those things really make a difference on our ability to take care of our consumer with a better level of confidence and a better level of clarity that AI will give in that regard. I think it's just an exciting opportunity.
So thinking about the consumer, we've done a few segments on VADA Live talking about it, concentrating just different ways of approaching it. What do you think, and especially knowing technology has a role, as you mentioned in that, where do you think dealers could improve in that area or focus on when it comes to the consumer side relationship with all the tech flying around now?
Well, I think that the one thing that we've had in our industry is we spend a lot of money on tech, and most of it doesn't improve productivity. And that's the biggest concern I've always had is when we look at it, if our technology doesn't improve productivity, is it worth it? Yes. And there's very few tools that we've added that in theory should. If you go back and look, and I hate to bust on anyone, but if you look at a CRM tool, we used to use paper and pencil, and I don't necessarily know if the CRM tool has made anyone more productive. But now when you look at other items that are technology that are coming, whether it's digital retailing, which has enormously made us more productive. But when I go back in the AI and you look at that, you've got training that can be done quickly. I brought an advisor in the other day, and I said, hey, what is the hardest thing that you have to sell? The one you don't understand at all. And he told me, and I go, I want you to go into ChatGPT, and I want you to ask for an easy way to describe this item and see what it says. He came back and he goes, oh my God, I can explain this to a consumer now. And I think that's the exciting part, is we may be able to take our knowledge that we speak in dealer talk and transport into human talk. And I think that builds a bridge to your consumer.
As far as just some of the lots, is there anything that sticks out, any success stories, anything that made you recently go from a member of your team, oh my gosh, this is cool, or this was a really good experience, or somebody went above and beyond? Anything come to mind from what was happening recently?
From my team?
Yeah, from your team.
I will tell you, I am blessed. I have a great team that I work with, whether it's from the group, automotive group ourselves, or the people that we have back at the dealership. I would love to tell you I've got one. I can't, because there are just so many things that I will go through, and I will be constantly impressed by the level by which they will go through. So I wish I had one. I mean, I've got, whether it's Fred in service, Alan, Cassie, whether it's Riley. We just promoted a guy. Actually, I'll use a great one. We just promoted a gentleman from the parts department's parts manager to be a service manager, and he knows no difference. It's a new job, and he's just attacking it with a veracity that is amazing. Those are the things I think is great. I mean, every day there's not a single human being at that dealership that doesn't make me smile or be surprised, because they just come to work trying to be better, and God love them for that.
As a one final question, Tim, we started with the legislative side, so we might as well end with it. And as far as the session this year, the legislative win related to the warranty and recall reimbursement, what do you think that represents to, I think, from the effort side, but also the results side for Virginia dealers?
Well, I think the big result in the effort is a couple of ways. Number one, we've encouraged our OEM partners to get better. You know, when you look at warranty reimbursement from the standpoint of tech time that they spend on the phone, that's an unheralded win that we don't really get. Yeah, that's wasted time that they're not doing anything. So hopefully we encourage, if we're going to get paid from the manufacturer for that, maybe they'll get better at getting that information to us, and they'll approve things better. I was in a meeting recently with one of our partners, and they said that they're making a policy because they found some people aren't doing something right. And when I asked how many people aren't doing it right, they said it's like 3%. I go, so you're making a rule for 100% of us to impact 3%. And they go, that probably wasn't a good idea. And that's that same principle that goes into that. But then the other part legislatively is taking away the reasonable clause. That's been used for a long time to stop dealers from getting what they earn, what they should get. The concern that the OEMs have that someone's going to go in and not politely, I'll use that word, change their labor rate to get too high a number. I don't think dealers do that. I think 1 in a billion do that. Those are the people that obviously they need to go look at. But if you're really doing your job right and you have you've got a real labor rate you need to get, you'll get it. And I think that's key. We don't want more than we should get. We should get what we deserve, and that's what they're going to do. So I think that's a big key.
Well, appreciate your time. I was joined by Tim Pohanka, who's legislative chair at VADA. You're watching VADA Live. I'm Dan Carrigan. We'll see you next time.